Hi everyone, I'm Daniel Pickett from ActionFigureInsider.com, and I'm here with my good, close personal friend Scott Neitlich because there's some news.
There is some news. So I'm not sitting down with you to talk about what I usually talk about, which is Mattel product.
Right.
The news is I have actually left Mattel.
As of today, as of a couple of hours ago.
Yes, you literally have rushed up to meet with me because we are good friends, and I know this is toy news.
Yeah.
And obviously I'm very much associated with a lot of what Mattel produces. I think it's definitely a good idea for us to chat.
This is of your choice.
It is of my choice. I mean, I was basically in a situation where, I have a family, and, I do. How do you even explain this? Especially to the people the type of fans that are going to be listening. I mean, to most people, it's just looked at that I have this amazing dream job. I get to run Masters of the Universe, and it has been amazing. I mean, this has been the best experience. 9 years, 7 on Motu, I think.
Yeah.
Yes, well, it's been 9 years. I'm with Mattel in November. I'm just short of that, but I mean, I started this whole shebang. I think there's supposed to be 3 2-packs.
Right.
150 figures and a castle and Justice League and
then to get to, this year with the sub going through, finishing the line.
And I think that made it a little easier.
Yeah.
Because even one of the lines I was saying to a buddy, I feel a lot like Frodo. I did what I set out to do.
Right, okay.
And it's not that the line can't go on forever, any of this stuff. And
Certainly.
Obviously Mattel will continue to make great product. I'm very excited to see what they do. But I'd done a lot.
Yeah.
I made a hoverboard and a Castle Grayskull, and I had JLU go years beyond what any company should ever produce for a toy line not selling as well as it did. But we
The amount of figures from DCUC, Ghostbusters, getting
Voltron.
The actual guys, like the actual team from Ghostbusters.
Like I said, this has been the experience of a lifetime.
Yeah.
And obviously I wouldn't leave this. I mean, I'm excited. I'm still going to be part of the toy industry. I'm going to be with another company, and I'm sure I'll be announcing more about that in the near future. But I'm very excited for what I'm going to get to work on.
It's kind of a second dream job.
Yeah.
For lack of a better term.
I may not be on Motu, but I'm going to be on brands that I love.
Right.
And I also grew up with. And you bet you I'll still be doing collector stuff too. I'm also going to get to work on kid stuff. I'm going to have a much larger role, which is exciting. But it's for all the brands that I love.
Right.
And I'm going to put all of the love that, you guys know what I do into all this. So it's going to be, I'm in no way, while it's bittersweet,
Yeah.
it was the right thing to do, especially at the end of the day. I have a wife and child, and I do have a life. People were invited into my home on Toy Hunter, It's like,
That's right.
So, it was a hard decision.
Certainly.
I'm going to miss it.
I think anyone that's ever left a job has to know kind of the double-edged sword of it. Certainly you're excited about your new opportunity and your new adventure, but, you, especially having been somewhere for a long time, you have relationships and,
I met my wife while I was there, and now I have a daughter.
Yeah, and you put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into that job.
There is a lot of my blood in Spector. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow, really?
He cut the hand. It was a joke.
So I think probably the question a lot of people are going to be asking is, now that you're not there, what's going to happen? Did you kind of set up how things can carry on and that sort of thing?
So obviously, I can't speak for what Mattel's going to do,
right.
and I am not. But I don't think it's speaking out of turn to say 2015 is pretty much baked at this point. Obviously with the sub going through, everyone knew what was happening. So everything you're getting in Mattel
not 2014, 2015. You're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
14 is like already. I mean, I actually Gwildor's done. I mean, you'll get samples of him probably any day.
Okay.
2014. 2014 is on everyone's plate. We're not even discussing what.
That's already on the boat.
What could happen to 2014? Nothing.
Yeah.
It's pretty much being sold. There's 2 months left. So 15, the sub sold through. So
And we're specifically talking Masters of the Universe
At
right
the
now.
yes.
Yeah.
Well, in general, I mean, it's been talked about. Mattel works 2 years in advance. So basically, we're already planning, 2016.
Right.
So you can imagine. So essentially, you can extrapolate. I've been there for all of 15,
Right.
And I've now been there for a lot of the early work for 16.
Okay.
So, which means all of 15, you're sort of still getting a Scott Neitlich brand managed line. I'm just not going to be there for the day-to-day, like, fan interaction and, like, unveilings.
Right.
But, like, no one's going to change figure selection for 15. Like, that's,
Right.
at this point.
Okay, yeah.
Or there's not going to be, 15 is done. Nothing is going to be added or subtracted from it.
Okay.
Unless things don't sell. Like, they may offer things up, like do, kind of the Kickstarter pre-sale type stuff.
Okay.
Like other, other mini subs or other big items or other prop replicas or other whatevers.
Yeah.
And if there's no support, it could go away. But there's not going to be at this point, new development is 2016 is what I'm trying to say.
Right,
So
okay.
everything you're getting in 15, from January to December, for all brands, is still pretty much a cake in the oven, almost ready.
Okay.
It just has to get frosting and candles.
Right,
And
right.
how the frosting and candles are going to look, the day-to-day of 15, that's where I won't be involved.
Right.
So I think, is that pretty clear?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so even if there's an awesome surprise sometime in the year, and you're like, "Well, look what they did without Scott Neitlich," like, yeah, I kind of already did that.
Okay.
So
All right.
I either get credit for everything awesome in 15, or you can boo me if you hate everything in 15.
Right. And did you leave behind any sort of paperwork or anything just saying, this is what people still would like to see in 16 if you guys choose to go forward?
Very much so, to the point that there's already pending fan interest and, like putting stuff up. I don't want to discuss scales or what lines, but everything 2016 is already like in the hopper, essentially.
Okay.
So, like, there are, I can't talk about at all.
Right.
But although it's sort of still early enough, like it's just about to go in the oven.
Okay.
It's like they have a fully formed recipe. Like we cook the recipe, we put the eggs in, we put the flour, we put the sugar and everything like that, and it's all there. But technically, we're early enough that they could either throw it out or put different ingredients in.
Okay.
But it's going to be a lot easier to go with. I mean, now I'm speaking out of ego, but I don't know. Anything. But I've done a lot of early 16 work. Let's just say that, a lot.
Okay.
So, should 16 go forward as I assumed it was planned as of 24 hours ago or 6 hours ago? I was very excited about what we were looking at.
Okay.
Like, let's just say I was very, very excited, and I think everyone would be very excited too. But what I'm excited about, honestly, on Monday morning, I have no idea what's going to happen because I'm not at my desk, and they could decide, now everyone's going to have Barbie hair. I don't know, just kidding.
And you probably don't know this, and I don't even know that Mattel knows this, but who would maybe rise to take your place? Who would fans interact with?
It's a tough thing because what I did wasn't really a position at Mattel.
Right.
I kind of just...
But the interaction.
Yes, I was a brand there. I just hung out at the dock, and they let me in and fed me lunch sometimes.
Right.
They dangled, or missed out the window, and I said, ooh, like I jumped at her, and then I fell in the window.
The interaction.
The interaction was something...
Yes.
We're friends. We're both basically collectors exactly, I think, similar.
Yep.
We also collect some of the same lines. So I basically took my job at Mattel. I was like, well, I'm going to interact with the fans the way I always wish the companies would.
Yeah.
And I think you're going to see that wherever I go. And at the new companies I'm with that maybe didn't have the kind of fan reaction that, I'm really looking forward to building that.
Uh-huh.
Just continuing. I'm still Toyguru. The name is mine, and I'm taking it with me.
All right.
So you will absolutely still see me as Toyguru. You
Okay.
just won't see me talking for Mattel. I will be talking for other companies or other organizations.
Right.
Your question about who would take I don't know. There are other people on the Matty brand that handle logistics.
Okay.
Who handle moving the product back and forth, and who handle customer service, and who handle the basis of, like, it's not all good, it's like tomorrow, like, Mattel Culture closes. No, God, no. God, wish it, I mean, it's still, I love it, because I still want my He-Man figures, too.
Right.
Heck, I want, I'm looking forward to getting my 15, I'm glad I have, 15 coming to me, because now I'm actually going to be getting it.
That's right, because you said you got a son.
Yeah, so now, good thing I did. So now I can get my Ninja and stuff. Well, actually, I have a Ninja. Well, actually, I don't, because he's at my desk, which I'm not at anymore. But that's okay, because I'll get one in February.
But now you can call him Ninja.
Yes, now I'm going to call him. I'm officially going to say his name is Ninja, despite what they made us call him.
That's right.
But it was Ninja Warrior, Heroic Ninja Master, was what it said.
Wow.
I was like, okay.
That stands out on a resume.
So there you go. But I think in his bio, like, we threw in, like, he's known as Ninja to his enemies, or something like that.
But I mean, too, I would think you would have some trepidation leaving just with the Masters of the Universe movie potentially coming forward at some point, like all the DC announcements, the Warner Brothers things that were just made. I mean,
but there's a lot of exciting stuff coming up. Absolutely, and I think I wouldn't be leaving if I thought I was missing out on amazing opportunities.
Right.
I think one of the great things is no matter where you are in the toy and movie industry right now, no matter what studio you're at, toy company, you're working on awesome stuff. Look what's happening. I mean, look what is happening. Can we just take a step back? Like, let's see what's in development. Okay, like unlimited Marvel movies, unlimited DC movies,
more Harry Potter universe,
He-Man, Masters movie. Like, it is
Star Wars through infinity.
Yeah, and Star Wars. Yeah, and Star Wars. Like, hello, oh my God, we're going to get a Star Wars movie every year for the rest of our lives? What the H?
Yeah.
Like, shut up and take my money.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's why it doesn't matter, it's like, oh my gosh, like, I'm still going to bring the enthusiasm, everything I do to, like, where I'm excited to do that, but it's like, no matter where you are, there's like, we're all making awesome stuff right now. It's not like it was 20 years ago when you had, like, Toxic Avenger, and that was the only movie that came out that year
right,
that had a superhero.
Yeah.
We are living in a golden age. I mean, look, Guardians just cost $700 million in China. $30 million opening.
Yeah.
I mean, that just shows you, like, I mean, how they didn't do this with Firefly, but it just shows you, like, this stuff, what we all love, when done with love and done right, really have resonance with the public. And, like, we were right, see?
Yeah.
All of us nerds, like, and geeks and, like, we were right. We were into the stuff that was cool, and we were ahead of everybody.
That's true.
And that's, I think, what makes us really great, is all of us in this toy collecting, is because, like, we're already, what we love, the world hasn't always woken up to yet.
That's right. Yeah.
God, I'm blathering on.
So potentially, I know you can't say anything new about your new position yet, but we would potentially still see you at events like Comic-Con and
I don't doubt
Toy
it.
Fair and stuff like that.
Well, I'm still going to be, I'm still in the toy industry.
Right.
Like, absolutely.
Okay.
And, I can't imagine I will be far from, and I'll probably still be on all the boards and, like, talking to people, and, if anyone ever wants to have me on these things, like, I can still talk about, like, my payout. I'm not going to, like, I'm obviously not going to divulge corporate secrets.
Right. You're saving that for the book deal.
Saving that for the book deal. And I have nothing but wonderful things to say about Mattel. It was a great company, and they gave me great opportunity.
Yeah.
It was nothing but just, I had to, it was time to move on. It's 9 years.
Yeah.
It was a lot to be with one company these days, which is kind of weird. It used to be 50 years and a golden watch. And,
right. Yeah. That's just not the case anymore.
It's not.
With,
it really
with
isn't.
our generation.
Yeah. And I don't even know where I was going with that. But
just, so how did they take your leaving? Can you say that?
I don't want to go into too much detail because there's personal relationships there.
Yeah.
But they definitely wished me well.
Okay.
And I think they all understood. I think there was definitely this wasn't like, why would he be doing this? I think it was like, okay, you're right. Like, it's sometimes people need to move on.
And it's too fresh right now, but. And again, it's like picking your favorite child, but can you talk a little bit about some of your proudest achievements in those 9 years?
Oh, yeah, this one's the fun one to talk about. Because I see, like, this is what I mean by talking about the past. Like, I can definitely, like, I'm not going to, exactly, delve into, like, well, now tell us everything about, like, how many units you made. And I'm like, no, but yeah. I've definitely often kind of thought of, like, a top 10. Because this has been a dream job. This has been, no doubt, a dream job. My job before this, I hung JLU figures in a like one of those butterfly box frames.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do.
I bought 2 butterfly box frames with pins, and I pinned up the main 5 Justice League and the main 5 bad guys as like art, and I hung them on my wall.
Okay.
At my job I had before Mattel.
Okay.
And to go for, and I found a Chase 2002 or 3 Mechanic, the one that had like different colored glasses,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
rare one,
Yeah.
and I flipped it on eBay.
Okay.
And I found it during a lunch break at my previous job, and I was like so excited I found that.
Yeah.
And to go from those experiences to what I've done is amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely amazing. And I'm so grateful for what I've gotten to do, which is why I have nothing but great things to say about Mattel. And amazing people I've worked with. I mean, you know, some of the designers, I'm off track. You were asking me like my favorite things.
But you can give shout-outs if
Well,
you
yeah,
want to.
yeah.
I mean,
Bill Benecke, Terry Iguchi, Ruben Martinez, Brandon Sapinski, who, man, you guys, you Motu fans are in such luck. He's going to, like, if I could leave it with any designer, it would be Brandon. I mean, he is just going to do so much. You guys have seen. I've seen the comments already. People get it. He's
well, yeah, I think when people started seeing the stuff you revealed with the New York Comic Con stuff, I think they were attributing a lot of that to
totally.
to Brandon.
Absolutely.
Like,
Brandon gets, you know, like, it's funny how, like, let's talk about how like I get blamed for like these things that like I don't do, but whatever. But like when design does good, they get, you know. But no, he did absolutely. Brandon's bringing his A game, and he's. There are some really, really awesome things coming up, and he's so like having a designer who's excited to work on it does open doors because it just makes it easier to do things.
right.
JLU, finishing JLU.
Right.
That is definitely going to be a topper.
Okay.
Because, you know, it was supposed to end with Grodd. Like, he was the last figure.
Right.
And, like, I remember there was a meeting, and we pitched the Target JLU continuation, the one that had Question and Captain Atom and Galatea and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
God, how do I remember all these figures? And I was like the senior brand analyst, so I wasn't presenting. Like, so, like I put the slides together, but you know, some other brand manager, actually Jim Murphy, was presenting.
Yep.
And Doug Wadley, who was our VP at the time, Jim brought these up at the end of his DC yearly presentation of what they wanted to do, and this was going to be a customized program for Target. And Doug said, "Do we really keep JLU going? Like, you know, it's done." And he turned to me and was like, "Do we?" And I said, you know, the form factor is working. It's so hard to get people into a form factor. Don't stop one that is working and try to get them into something that you don't know if it's going to work.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. Like, that was the moment JLU, like, lived.
Right, right.
Like, I was like, wow, I just saved JLU. And everyone's going to now think I'm the devil. I'm going to get blamed for everything. See? And but never expected. I mean, I just wanted to get Question and Captain Atom out there.
Okay.
Basically,
okay.
that's all I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I was like, if we could just, because it just felt so wrong to not have the Question and Captain Atom in this line.
Yeah.
But then, like, the first couple packs sold really well, and then they kept doing really well at Target. And even the first 6 packs, like, sold out in lightning. It was crazy. I don't know what happened there. There was like 2 that like couldn't be found.
Yep. Yep.
And then it slowed down. But then we got Maddie going. And we're like, I thought JLU was going to be the backbone of Maddie, the way Motu wound up being.
Right.
Because honestly, a lot was because of your site. The JLU fans were just so all over the place and, you know, making all these customs. And I was one of them. Like I said, I was pinning them to my wall as art in my previous job, which was not in the toy industry. And but the JLU ones at Maddie just never did well.
Yeah.
Never. I mean, like, except for Lobo, who's the only one who ever sold out. And even that like last 7-pack or 8-pack, whatever it was. But wow, did we get, like, we totally did it right.
And do you think that, I mean, looking back on it, was that just the cost of manufacturing and that became too expensive for someone to buy sort of a 5-point of articulation figure for, because they were essentially
why they were
$10
it was that and the low quota.
Right.
Like when we were selling them to kids at retail, they were a lot cheaper because you were selling so tons. When you were just selling so few.
So the quantities were higher, is what you're saying, in Target than what you were doing on Maddie.
Absolutely.
Okay.
The more it got on Maddie, the lower and lower the quotas got.
Yeah.
Like once you were out of retail, you were dealing anything on Maddie is so ridiculously lower than retail, which is why it only like Motu even wouldn't work at retail. Motu doesn't even hit retail minimum orders.
Okay.
Not even close.
Yeah.
The only thing that can keep those lines going is, you know, Maddie.
Okay.
Someone pay me for that.
So Justice League.
So yeah, keeping Justice League going, that was definitely number 1. I mean, Motu Classics, I think that is immediately number 2. Like because again, experiment, thought like maybe we'll get like 3 different 2-packs, and here we are, Granomir and, Battle Ram and everything, and like, what the heck, and yeah, everybody. And finishing the line. Well, so Motu Classics, I think that kind of stands alone. And then Castle Grayskull stands alone, because that was amazing that happened. And then finishing Motu Classics, like finishing the 15 line, that itself becomes one, I think. Yeah. Like, I thought it was going to end in 13. I think really it looked like it was going to end, or end in 12 or whatever, like once the prices went up. And it kept going, we did it. And like getting to that, man, I remember driving, like getting to that, sweet God, we were so few units over the minimum, but we got over the minimum, it was crazy. So that becomes one to itself. And then, I mean, obviously selfishly, like the figures, I think then you kind of start to nitpick into Motu Classics, because there's obviously ones that, like, I feel more excited about, like Panther's helmet, that kind of thing.
Okay.
While the Horseman sculpted it, I was the one who suggested give him a ram's horn helmet.
Okay.
And like I really loved that, because it was really fun to like, and obviously it culminated in things like Spector. That was never part of the plan. But no one's going to say no when they say you get to create a He-Man character and we'll make it and put your name on the back. So I'm like, okay, I'm not going to say no to that. Like everyone thinks it's like these evil plans, but it's just like, management was nice enough to recognize that I'm. A known celeb,
So wait a minute, you're telling me they came to you and said you can do that? You didn't just shoehorn in your childhood idea that everyone accuses you of?
I immediately chose my childhood idea when I was given an empty box and said, you may fill this box with anything you want.
Okay.
And we will put it in a He-Man package. And that was like one of the great perks of what I did, and honestly made up for, I think, a lot of the hard work that.
Okay.
I don't think people realize that I work like 4 times harder than any brand manager.
Right.
I mean, I'm not just saying that to throw anyone under the bus, but like I really do. I work way inhumanly harder than any human.
Harder than any human.
Yeah, and like ridiculous out, but I do because I love what I do.
Yeah.
And and that's why it was time to make a move, because like I needed to feel more of a reward for what I do. So that it was honestly, that was a perk that I got to have Mighty Spector, and I also got to have my head on John Spector, and like they became, whatever, like that's, again, like, that was also not the plan. Like when I named that character John Spector, like that was basically my token, that I got to have my face. I'm like, all right, yay, that was really cool.
Right.
And then a year and a half later, they said I could create a character, and I was like, whoa, okay. Like, well, I'm not going to not do Spector, because if like I was, when you come, that's what you do. I'm sorry. Like Jeff, he did Sir Laser-Lot. That was his childhood creation. Like,
right.
That he played with when he was playing Motu. Like that was, I think, what people missed. Was I created him like while I was the age playing with Motu. So to me, that was why I felt it was good to have him in the Motu world.
But he was literally your submission to that contest, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, right. I created him while playing it, and then I submitted it into the Photon thing. Right. Exactly. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So it's like, well, it doesn't matter. I mean, I think people. Oh my God! Wait till you guys see the new mini comic. That's going to be great.
So have you? I mean, have you told the 4 Horsemen and people like that?
I mean, at this point, yeah. I mean, all my I spoke to the Horsemen.
Okay.
I mean, they definitely they kind of sort of like knew this was probably coming.
Okay.
I mean, they know kind of that I needed a little. I needed to start doing more stuff than just as much as I love Motu. 9 years is a long time. I mean, Jack Kirby only, how long did he last at Marvel, I
don't have that answer.
No. Well, God bless him. Because he basically designed Motu.
Yeah. So they all know. Is there anything you feel like, it's with such an unbelievable body of work, I think it would be hard to talk about this. Anything you feel undone or something you really wish you could have made happen in your time there?
I would have loved a Proton Pack.
Proton Pack.
That would have been awesome.
Yeah.
And the hoverboard, I didn't mention the hoverboard, that was so fantastic.
That was one of your achievements.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
When I was stuck on the Motu stuff. I didn't leave Motu. Hoverboard was there. I mean, the Ghostbuster props. I think even though the trap was awesome, the PKE to me was like the best, because I was always Egon. I mean, I got the glasses.
Right.
But the hoverboard was just like, I always want. I mean, and I couldn't believe people were upset because it didn't float. Like, are you kidding me? I'm going to say that one now. Item?
And aren't we still a couple of years off from the future when that was supposed to happen?
Either way, people actually launched Better Business Bureau complaints that it didn't float.
Hold on a second. People literally wrote to the Better Business Bureau about Mattel saying that the item is misrepresented and does not hover?
That's the tip of the iceberg. It was so many people upset it didn't hover. Just, oh my God, I'm sorry that, like, I can't even address it. I honestly can't anymore. That was like I think that was like the worst moment of my whole time at Mattel, was having to deal with the sheer amount of people angry. I mean, I understood the people who, like, it wasn't perfectly movie accurate.
Okay,
I understood
right.
the lenticular, because we tried, and it would have just boosted the cost up so much. I
Yeah.
get it, and I get that people wanted us to work closer with Bob Gale, and those complaints are totally valid. But the fact that it didn't actually float, I just, like, couldn't believe the sheer amount of people that were upset over that.
Wow.
Like, I had to deal with that for months.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
There's your behind the scenes.
But anything else you really wanted to get to that didn't materialize, maybe?
The Ecto one would have been awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the Ecto one would have been so awesome to do, but we just didn't get that. And keeping DCU, we had another good year. We had a really good idea for, where we're going. And, it's tough because, you don't always get as much control over the character selection as you do on something like Motu.
Right.
Where it's like
because it's a property you own.
Yeah. And there's also just not as many, I also had that. It also helped that I had that, like, 10-year rollout, because people just kind of were like, well, Scott knows what he's talking about.
Right.
With DC, was more like there were a lot of people who wanted say in the line. Like, a lot more just cooks who, like, had, some kind, who did have a legitimate, business reason to have a say, and did have a say. And it wound up not, you couldn't please everyone. Like, and I think that was frustrating, because, like, there were characters, like, I would have done that I couldn't do, or, like, I really wanted it, like, and I think I don't know if better characters would have helped it, because, I mean, I know what the numbers were, and it wasn't working anymore.
Right.
And it was really sad to see that. But, I mean, to end with Doomsday is great. That's another one.
Yeah.
Like, we've been trying to do Doomsday for years, and to finally do him was awesome.
So there's actually a production Doomsday here, sitting with us.
Yeah, and
this is something I didn't realize in seeing the prototype and stuff, that you actually did the front of the face as two pieces, so it legitimately has the bones over the eyes. That's sculpted. That is
probably the best figure in the line.
That's so amazing.
It honestly, is like I would be hard pressed to find like 2 or 3 figures that are better than him in the entire line.
Yeah.
Like, and to go out like this is pretty phenomenal.
I couldn't agree more.
So it was nice to at least end. Like, I mean, I always talk about, like, it's nice to, like, have them all. Like, which is also, I mean, and, I know people are worried about Motu ending in, like, 15 and stuff. And, I'm glad to have them all for the vintage, but, I mean, I think everyone knows how popular it is, and I can't imagine there's not, they'll find, for people, like, I know everyone's biting their nails, like, are they going to keep 6-inch going? And, like, as long as, there's enough interest, I mean, and I think one of the ways when we were even looking at 16, I guess this is a good way of putting it, is in 14 and 15, we're actually really kind of handicapped. We have to do Twistoid, and we have to do Blast Attack, and we have to do Squeeze. Squeeze is badass. Not that I'm telling they're bad, but, like, I mean, there's some characters that, like, that have to be in the 14 and 15 line. There are characters that are more fan demanded.
Right.
So, but it's like that whole finish the vintage line thing kind of trumps, in a way. This is one of those weird, surreal laws of the toy.
Yeah.
The contract between manufacturer and customer. But, like, that customers want, and we made a promise, and they, I think, agreed to the promise to finish the vintage line by the end of 15. But if you really looked at the brand as a whole, there are a lot of characters that are probably more popular than, say, Blast Attack or Dragstore or Rio Blast, or, like, who are some of, like, the other, I mean, they all wind up looking so cool because the Horsemen are amazing, but you know what I mean.
I do.
So that definitely helps when looking at the future.
Right.
Let's just say that. Because it's not like there aren't highly fan-demanded characters to do, just because they weren't a vintage toy.
Yeah.
So, and like I said, I was heavily, heavily involved in pre-2016 planning.
Okay.
So, and I will also tell you guys all, when and if a 16 comes out, and as things roll out, like, I'll tell you, at that time, like, yes, that was the line.
Okay.
Or I'd be like, no, wow, they surprised me and did something completely different, and like, all getting Thundercats now.
Do you feel like your higher ups kind of understand the fandom of Masters of the Universe?
They definitely do.
Okay.
This line, I don't think the movie would be happening without this line.
Okay.
This line changed made everyone realize how hot. That if anything great came out of it besides all the toys, it's how much it convinced the corporate world that this is a viable property, and it's all of us fans that really have to, for supporting it, because you did.
Right.
It outsells everything on that.
Okay.
I mean, it's at tier 2.
Yeah.
DC couldn't even be at tier 1, and that pretty much is the way of putting it.
Right.
So, yeah, I think everyone should feel really good about the way that, shall I say, corporate America is looking at the Motu brand.
Okay.
And, everyone knows there's a movie in the works. And,
Yeah.
like Jeff even came to the Motu fan convention, the He-Man.org get-together that they had, the Power Party.
Yeah.
Like, the director of the movie came and hung out with the fans. Have you ever seen Michael Bay come hang out with Transformers fans at a bar?
No.
Okay, so, like, I'm really excited about the future of Motu. Like, I am. Like, I can't wait to see the movie.
Yeah.
Like, I have no idea what, it's going to be like. I won't be at Mattel being involved in it, but
Right.
I think it's going to be great. I think everyone's excited about it, and I'm still a He-Man fan.
Yeah.
It's not like I just switched the light off,
Right.
So I'm still excited to get my 15 figures. I can't wait to finish my line. I'll have to go online and try to find the non-sub items and the chase figures. That's going to be annoying.
Oh yeah.
I used to just get them at my desk.
Right. Yeah.
Again, it was a nice fringe benefit, but I think I worked a lot, really hard, and I deserve to get free He-Man toys for 7 years.
Yes.
If I got free He-Man toys, that's awesome. But again, I can't work for free He-Man toys these days.
Right. Yeah. That doesn't
kind of a good way of putting
put
it.
food on the kid's plate.
Yes, it's nice to get Mermista a month early, but I have a 4.5-year-old, and to her, Mermista she had no interest in Mermista.
Huh.
I gave her Mermaid Barbie.
Right.
I gave her Mermista, and she had no interest in Mermista because she doesn't have rooted hair.
Oh, okay.
I think why.
All right.
That's my hypothesis.
Right.
Someone copyright that. But yeah, that was an interesting experiment.
So just to put you on the spot, now that you're not an employee anymore, can you reveal any other figures that are coming?
I won't. I absolutely could.
I thought I'd try.
I totally won't, because I respect, and I it's kind of cool that I got to be part of the last few reveals.
Yeah. Well, you can't blame a guy for asking.
No. It's funny, none of that was planned. It wasn't I knew I was, I didn't really know this was happening until very recently. Even when I recorded those videos, I did not know this was happening.
Yeah.
Besides, you all know who's coming in 15. Come on, do the math.
Right.
At this point, I think if you can't figure out 99% of the line, then you're not, you don't deserve your He-Man badge.
Yeah.
So it has been an adventure. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for everything I've done. I'm so excited for what I'm going to be doing in the future. You'll know me on the boards. You'll know Toyguru. I'm not going away. I'm still going to be a big part of this industry.
Okay.
And I love it. I'm so grateful for the opportunity that I've had and I continue to have. And I wish everyone the best. It's I'm definitely going to be. I think it'll be fun reading the boards in the next couple of days. 'Cause
Right. Yeah.
I'm sure. Obviously, I've been a big part of this brand. I have been. I started it. I pitched it literally.
Yeah.
I literally went in and pitched this line. What became this?
Yeah.
And it's funny. This will be the last. I blather on. When you're looking at say the origin of Motu Classics and saying the Horseman designed it and pitched it,
Right.
but they didn't pitch Matty Collector. As far as they knew, they were pitching a retail line. There was no distribution,
Right.
connected to this. They just thought this would be cool.
Yeah.
What I did was pitch the distribution, but using their tool. So it's this was a partnership. This was absolutely, we couldn't have done it without them.
Yeah.
But they couldn't have distributed their form factor without us. So
Right.
working with the Horsemen has been a blessing. I will never, ever forget. I collected their toys before I came here. I looked up, I idolized them.
Yeah.
I stood in line to get their autograph. I stood in line to get their Keldor.
Okay.
And I only got one She-Ra at Comic-Con 2003 or 4, whatever that was.
Yeah.
I was so upset I only got one She-Ra. Because I wanted one to open and one to keep in the box.
Right.
And then to go on to do this and to work with them and to have to email them that I'm leaving Mattel is a surreal experience. And
Yeah.
I love you guys. You guys are some of the greatest guys I've ever worked with. And getting to work with them is a privilege.
Yeah. They are
Yeah.
terrific people. Anyone
Yeah.
that has the opportunity to meet them or talk with them, they love it as much as the
And
rest of us.
they will, the line will be in good hands with them. I mean, like, it's
Okay.
like we all know what works at this point,
Right.
and you're really good, and like we've had doing this enough years that we've figured out, like,
Certainly.
so I think that everyone's still in for really good stuff. The world is not, trains keep going and battle rams keep battling.
That's right. Well, personally, I want to thank you for all of your hard work, everything you've done, keeping us informed, being just such a resource to fans and collectors. The sheer volume of stuff in my collection that you had a hand in is remarkable, and just best of luck. We certainly will be keeping in touch, and talking about your new venture as soon as that gets announced on a wider scale. But just really thank you, and best of luck.
Yeah, thanks. I'm excited. I mean, I'll talk to you next week.
Okay.
And and to all the fans out there, guys, I mean, we could not have made any of these toys if people weren't buying them. I mean,
Yeah.
I know I've always said that, but it's like, remember that, because remember when you're supporting lines, you're supporting. I think people miss that a lot, that you're supporting more future figures too.
Mm-hmm.
Like passing on a figure is a message that, like, I don't want more.
Right.
And remember that, because the more you buy, the more companies will make.
That's true.
And when I keep always trying to say that, like, we'll make these as long as you keep buying them. So if you ever ask yourself, will there be this line next year? Just ask yourself, well, are people buying them?
Right.
And if it's selling well, you'll probably see more of it.
Yeah.
If it's not, you probably won't.
That is
And
true.
It pretty much ends with that.
Well, thank you very much for sitting down with me at this very short notice, and I hope you have a good, relaxing weekend.
Yeah, I'm gonna just go watch, like, Futurama and Sherlock marathon, and I'm gonna go chill out, and I've deserved a long coming vacation.
Absolutely. So this is Daniel Pickett with Scott Neitlich, and we'll certainly be hearing more from this gentleman soon.
Ahoy, hoy.